Folks, it's a great evening for you. I would like to now invite our special guests up, Chip Roy, Tom Homan, and John Velleco. Gentlemen, would please come up to the stage. So this is going to be a little informal. We're going to have some basic, just a basic conversation, a visit up here. And I'm going to start by passing the mic. We're going to start down here and have each one of these gentlemen just introduce yourself, tell you a little bit of your background and who you are and what you're doing now, where you came from. And then we will, we're going to have a couple of questions for you guys. I want to just start a conversation. So this is Mr. Tom Homan. Tell us about yourself, sir.
How you doing? So, I've been a law enforcement officer for about 35 years. I started as a police officer in New York, became a border agent, then an ICE agent. I climbed the ranks until that fateful phone call in January 2017 with the president. And then I got to tell a story real quick. Several people asked about this. Did I retire? I retired January 27, 2017. My family was there. I had about 400 people there. I had a lot of cool gifts. I had a gun. At the end of the ceremony, I was actually shaking hands. Remember, all my stuff was already boxed up at home in my garage. I already signed a contract with a company making a hell of a lot more money than the government. And at the end of the ceremony, the chief of staff comes and got an emergency phone call from John Kelly, who's Secretary of Homeland Security time. I said, okay. My wife's so upset about it. Says, he couldn't make the event. He said, congratulations, probably. That was wrong. So I walked in the office, the phone from John Kelly was found. I know this is bad timing, but the president wants you to stay in my ice. And I said, bad time, I just retired like 15 minutes ago. And he said, when you did, the paper's on my desk, I haven't signed it. And he goes, so will you please consider it? I told him, I need a weekend to talk to my family about it. And then John Kelly, the final words for me, before you went up, so okay, I call you Monday morning, go get home. But I want to leave you with a thought. The President of the United States is asking you, a career law enforcement officer, to serve the country a little longer. Have a good weekend. That's all I want. So after a weekend of fighting my wife, Monday morning I said yes, I came back. So that's how I met the greatest president of my generation. So I was nominated by the team. I was director, the first life director that came up in the ranks. So I never asked anybody of the 20,000 men and women that work for me, American patriots, each and every one of them. I never asked them to do anything I do myself as a law enforcement officer, so I'm certainly proud of that. Now that I have retired for the second time, I'm in negotiations for a third time. But until then, I'll be on Fox News defending this president.
G.O.A. since the mid-90s. I became a member in '89 after a school shooting in Stockton, California. And it dawned on me that not only was this a tragedy, where children were shot by a maniac madman, but it was a compounded tragedy because no one was able to shoot back. And the mission of Gun Owners of America then and now is no compromise on the Second Amendment. G.O.A. has the reputation of being the no compromise gun law. It's not about gun control, it's about control. And we control the government, not the other way around. And whoever controls the guns controls the country. And, you know, there are, if all of the hunters in Texas stood up, it would be the largest standing army in the world. That is not something to be afraid of. That's something to be proud of.
So good evening, everybody. So you need a green light. You got a green light?
that it has been an unbelievable honor for the last now 8.5 months to represent all of you, or at least most of you. I think maybe a few of you might be from counties outside of Section 21, but for the most part, to represent you. And we're going to dive into some questions here in a minute, but let me just say 2 quick things here. Each of these guys are reliable warriors standing alongside me and others in Washington fighting for freedom, for liberty, for limited government. John is a hero. He is standing up for your gun rights every single day. Where a lot of organizations sometimes say they are, I can tell you, gun owners in America is doing it every day. John's on the front lines fighting. And you all know Tom. But let me just say, you know, in terms of there's private conversations you don't see in hearings. There's meetings that you have that you don't get to see. And he is a voice for border security. And more than that, it's not just a simple notion of border security, it's for our sovereignty as a nation and why border security matters. He gets it. He gets it in a way that other people do not. And he's an American treasure. And both of these guys, I'm just proud of you. And I just can't thank you both enough for being here in the whole country of Texas. Thank you.
Okay, we're going to start with Mr. Velleco this evening. I have a question. You wrote an outstanding article in, I believe, the Daily Caller, an opinion piece that actually had it was something that once I read it, I went, duh, but it just was not something that registered in my mind before reading your editorial. So would you please tell the folks here about that editorial and what was in it?
Sure, thanks, Matt, for your kind words. The Second Amendment, as I mentioned in my opening remarks, was putting our Bill of Rights as a safeguard against tyranny. You know, in spite of what people like Beto think, that's what the Second Amendment is about. But there are other components of our Constitution that are also putting their safeguards against abuse by government. And one of them is our great judicial system, that before a person can be convicted, before a person can lose his liberty, he has to be convicted of a crime in a court of law, gets to know what law it is he's being accused of breaking, he has to have a trial by an impartial judge or a jury of his peers, and have due process of law. But there's a very pernicious law that's starting out the country, that's coming up in Washington, and it's these red flag laws. These red flag laws take all of our due process rights and sweeps them out the door. So that a person could lose. A red flag law works like this. You can have a police officer, a school administrator, family member, ex-spouse, disgruntled ex-spouse, petition a judge that they think you're a danger and that you own guns and that the court should take your guns away. The person who's the subject of the red flag law isn't even there. So forget about due process, forget about representation, you're not even there. And the judge, once he does not have these constitutional safeguards in place, how does the judge rule that a person should not be subject to a red flag? This was the point of the article that Matt was mentioning. Well, if you don't have any evidence, you don't have any probable cause it was a crime because it wasn't a crime, it's just an accusation, well, does the judge need to be 50% sure that you're not going to commit a crime or that you're not going to be violent or 60 or 60? No, the judge has to be 100% sure because he doesn't have any evidence. And so what these red flag orders do is they become a rubber stamp by the judge to take away people's guns. And the first time a person learns that they're the subject of the red flag is when the police come knock on the door or knock down the door to take away their guns. And one case that you might have heard of in Maryland, a person was subject to a red flag order. The police came and there was an altercation and they killed him. And it turned out that it was a family member, I think a cousin, a relative, who had a beef with this person, and so it was just in retribution for another argument, to settle an argument. You know, the shooter in El Paso, as much as we despise we did, you know, we have a constitution and we have a process, and that person is entitled to stay in court. He's He's entitled to legal representation. He's entitled to a speedy trial, which we hope he gets, and to be judged by a jury of his peers. The people who are subject to red flags get none of that, even though they're not even being accused of a crime.
So, one of the things you mentioned in the article was these red flag appeals, or whatever folks asking for them, these are going to go to lower level judges, right? So, one of the points in your article was that these guys are starting their career, they're trying to build their reputation in town, and they want to protect themselves. And so their automatic decision most likely is...
Well, you think about it. They have nothing to gain and everything to lose.
Right.
No one wants to be that judge who makes the wrong call. So, and there's no, like I said, there's no evidence.
Right.
So they're going to take the safe road. They're going to, the safe road for themselves, not for our constitutional rights.
Right.
You know, the judiciary is supposed to be a check, as in check and balance on the other branches of government. You are not supposed to lose your rights like the legislature or the executive. You lose your rights after due process in a court of law. And what these red flags are doing is making the courts the adjunct to the legislative and the executive branch. So we're losing a third of one branch of our government through things like this.
And so they're essentially the CYA to cover their own rear ends. They would rather take someone's guns away than not take their guns away and then go do something bad. It's a CYA essentially.
But you can't, I don't know anyone in this room, but if I were a judge and you came before me, I could never say, I know 100% certainty that this person, that person will never, ever, because there's no time limit on it, will never commit a violent act. The judge doesn't have anything to go on other than to take the safe road and say, well, if this person thinks he's dangerous, and believe me, a lot of judges don't like guns anyway.
Right.
So just conversations, just being a gun owner in some areas will make you a target for a red flag.
Absolutely. Hand the mic over to Chip there. Tell us what's going on in Washington. We're hearing rumors of red flag laws. We're hearing that they couldn't possibly pass. Tell us what are you up against and what's going on in Washington with this idea?
Well, thanks, Matt. And John explained it obviously very well with respect to the red flag issue. Obviously, there are other issues that are being raised in terms of private transactions as it's being currently described in terms of universal background checks. And we can talk about those things here in a minute. What I do find kind of curious is as we see unfold before our very eyes the admission by a certain former congressman in Texas that they are very
the Irish American, right? Robert Francis.
Very focused.
Irish.
Yeah, very focused on trying to, very openly say that they can come take our weapons. And you notice what happens, right? Chuck Schumer, Senator Manchin from West Virginia, all start backing up on their heels saying, no, we've never said that. We never want to come take your weapons. We're never going to come take the firearm. But the reality is that Beto has now let go the dirty little secret to not be a dirty secret. That's the reality. Now, why did I say that? Because what you're seeing happen in Washington, and unfortunately, some in the administration are trying to push the president within the administration to go down the road of some sort of universal background check kind of environment in the false name of trying to go stop a few of these bad actors, which, by the way, would do none of the sort. Right? There's no evidence, there's no information that would in any way solve any of the problems. The last 25 mass shootings, we've seen 23 of them, I think, John Wright or something, had past background checks where they didn't. We had situations like in Odessa where you had somebody who was unlawfully manufacturing weapons and lugging, which is then what this guy ended up using. So in almost every case, if not every case, John is more informed than I, there's somebody breaking the law or somebody who's just not in the system because they haven't done anything before. So background checking, you're was no hole. And so in this false name, why are they doing it? Because they want a gun registry. Period.
Yeah.
End of story. That's the goal. And Velleco is now basically opened the door wide open to say, hey, I'm actually telling you why we want this, because we want to register. So the reality is that in Washington, there are people in very high places in the administration, the Department of Justice, that are suggesting that that's the road that needs to be taken. The good news is that a very large block of people in Capitol Hill and otherwise groups outside are saying that is not the right path to take and are communicating that very clearly. The President has said he has no interest in interfering with Second Amendment rights. He has no interest in pursuing a gun control legislation. But we've got to be diligent. Now, you call your congressman, but your congressman's in a pretty good spot on this. But we need to make sure all of our senators, we need to make sure every congressman, all your friends, we need to blanket Congress with phone calls to protect our Second Amendment rights. John said it, right? Liberty is at stake, right? The last bulwark, the last stand for liberty is an armed citizenry, period. And if Democrats want to love in Texas by coming to basically steal your brisket, your pickups, and your guns, I say bring it on. I say try to sell that message.
So let's switch over to some border issues right now. I took great joy last week in playing the audio on my radio station of Mr. Homan in front of was it a congressional panel with some gal from New York. I think her name is Out. I think that's her name, AOC Out. Is that her name? Would you tell us about your good friend Out? Please, Mr. Homan.
Well, she's a moron. Look, that hearing, I take the hearing very seriously because, like I said in my testimony, there's a lot of it to get covered. No one on Capitol Hill, at least in that room, ever wore a green uniform and arrested anyone. No one in that room stood in the back of a tractor trailer surrounded by 19 dead people at his feet. And I really got upset with the guy from Chicago saying they care about dying children because they want white. So, as I've said many times, it's political theater. Me and Chip talked about this earlier. These hearings have become political theater. They want to make their points. They want to vilify people like myself who love this president. They just want to force law that they enact. I didn't think Congress doesn't have them creating laws that they didn't want to enforce. But apparently that's the attitude from the Democratic Party. But AOC, all professional, but it's a sad day in America when I have to educate a lawmaker that it's illegal to enter the United States illegal. So, and it's funny thing, the next day I'm at home, I'm cooking a brisket, and the president calls my cell phone, and what are you doing? I'm cooking a brisket. What's that? And he says, listen, I'm golfing with Lindsey Graham. He's golfing with Lindsey Graham. They'll call me from the golf cart, I guess. He goes, we just want to call and say great job with AOC. You made her look like an idiot. And I said, well, sir, in all due respect, she's an idiot. So what's hard to do? Then he asked me, stop, seriously, tell me what you think about her. What do you think of her? I said, she's the best thing that ever happened to you. So let her keep talking. Because she's an idiot. And she's going to prove American people she's an idiot. So it was an interesting hearing, but I got to say what I got to say. Look, I know more about this issue.
Why did you get to say what you wanted to say?
Huh?
At the hearing, why did you get to say what you wanted to say?
Because Chip Roy. Which, that was a hearing 2 weeks ago where, of course, I was attacked, and they spent 5 minutes attacking me, never asked me a question, just saying I'm a hateful man, and I'm a Nazi, a racist. But when they respond, I said, well, can I respond? No, my time's up. So I look over, Chip, well, your time's coming up, so give me some of your minutes. And the man did it. And which I want to add to immigration pick. One of the reasons I'm here tonight is Chip Roy. That hearing where I kind of lost my temper, before I testified, there was a panel where Chip Roy testified. And I know it's Chip Roy when he held the whole budget up for the right reason, because of his borders. So I became a big fan. So I watched Chip testify before I got to testify, and he's the first congressman in my lifetime that had the issue down pat. Everything he said was exactly right. I couldn't have said it better myself. So, great, it's great we got him up on the hill. I'm here tonight because he asked me to be here. We got to support this man, and we got to support people like this man. People call me, but I'm telling you, look, I've done it 3 decades. If the Democrats win the Senate, if the Democrats win the House, we are going to lose this board. I'm testifying this Thursday, tune in, to a panel that wants to shut down ICE detention. They don't want to detain any illegal. The reason the surge is coming across the board right now is we're not detaining families and children, so the Democrats answer, well, let's detain less. It's just ridiculous. We gotta be serious, and that's why I'm here tonight. We gotta engage, we gotta push, we gotta make sure this president wins re-election. We gotta get Republicans to take back the House. We gotta get the Senate, because if we don't, we will lose the border. We heard it here first. We will lose it. Because they get to the point, something like ICE detention, we start releasing single adult males, we lost it. You're not going to fix the border. The reason numbers are down right now, because this president's taking the action upon himself. The Democrats haven't offered one fix in the border. He declared a national emergency, he sent unprecedented resources down, he's building a wall. He wrote an immigration plan. He threatened Mexico to step up and do your job on one territory, and that's what's stopping the crisis, this president, and only this president. But I'm telling you, if the Democrats do control of this thing, we're going to lose the board. Here's why. Because Mexico will not sustain what they're doing. So a matter of time till they stop. If they stop, we're in trouble. It's still a surge right now. We're going to be in trouble. If Mexico stops, the numbers are going to get astronomical. So that's why we need people like G.O.A. in Congress, who's going to create some real immigration enforcement rules and enact some laws that will mean a lot to the border police and ICE agents. Look, I've seen a lot of death in my day. It's not just about enforcing the law. It's about saving lives. Securing the border saves lives. There's no downside to securing the border. G.O.A. gets it. That's why I flew from D.C. here. Because this man, he gets it. We need to make sure we support him. And people like him up in Congress. Please.
I appreciate that very much, and it's very kind. But look, this is serious. I mean, you all know when I ran last year, I ran on securing the border, restoring healthcare freedom, balancing the budget, making sure everyone had a clear mission, tools to carry it out, G.O.A. at home, and getting Washington out of our way. I'm going to keep working on those 5 things. Those are the things that drive me every single day. And securing the border is fundamental to a sovereign nation. Nobody talks about that the way we ought to be talking about it. We should be talking about it unapologetically, unabashedly. When you're in Israel, you're standing up alongside Lebanon, and they've got a 30-foot strong wall that they put up in order to secure their country because there's 130,000 missiles pointing at Tel Aviv and Jerusalem. When you're standing next to Syria, they've got a wall, you're on the West Bank, and they've got a wall, and it's working to stop the bombs that were going on in Israel 15 years ago. It works. The idea that it doesn't work is complete fallacy, and we should fight it, and we should keep working to help the president build a wall. But not just that, fund ICE fully. It's not funded right now fully. President Obama asked for $1 billion 5 years ago, when we had the unaccompanied children crisis right on top of train cars. That didn't happen because of politics, but Obama asked for $1 billion in this supplemental bill that we passed in July, which I voted against because it didn't fund ICE. A little side note, I fought to get the vote so that we can actually try to have a fight on border security. That's why I demanded there's 60 votes on the floor of the House and they can eat it. And they complain that they're missing their steak dinners and whatnot. And we made them actually do their job. We got a vote. I voted no because it didn't fund ICE. But we at least got the $4 billion to be able to move kids through HHS. But ICE remains unfunded in such a way that we have no place to put people. And we've got a real serious problem that is only slightly less bad now because the president is fighting in Mexico to work to try to help us when Democrats won't. That's how bad it is right now. The president is having to go to Mexico, who are overwhelmingly controlled and have to deal with the cartel influence in their government, because our Democrats won't actually work to secure our own American border. That's the state of our country. And so this is what's at stake in the next 14 months heading into next November. And I actually am pretty passionate about this. But we're Texas, that guy, and we're about 150, 60, 70, 80, 200 miles, depending on what angle you take, to the border right now. And if you're in Lakey, as some of you are, raise your hand, folks in Lakey, and we had the mayor of Uvalde come up and do a press conference up in D.C. talking about how bad it is, how ranches are overrun, how you've got problems and crime and drugs. We've got two fashion cartels at war between Laredo and McAllen. You got the cartel of Oreste and Mercedes, and you've got the Reynosa faction of that cartel, who are making hundreds of millions of dollars moving people across the border. And they're at war across the Rio Grande right now, endangering Americans and endangering the very migrants. The Democrats, the false name of compassion, stand behind open borders while they empower the cartels that are harming those people. Tom's up there standing on the wall fighting, trying to defend what the president is doing. I'm doing what I need to do to try to fight, but we've got to fight on our hands to preserve the state and to make sure we preserve our sovereignty.
Absolutely. So I would like to get back over to Mr. Velleco now for a minute. We'll come back to Tom and Chip here on, got some more of the border questions I want to ask. But one of the things that people say around the country is, well, Texas, you don't have to worry about anything in Texas. People are shocked when they hear that Texas doesn't have constitutional carry. They just assume that we were the freest state in the Union when it comes to the ability to defend yourself and to arm yourself. And it's just way far from true. And with our Republican platform and our Republican priorities this year, the 5 priorities out of everything the Republicans stand for, they chose 5 priorities, and one of them was constitutional carry. And that didn't even get a bill brought up in the Senate. And the House brought it up and killed it real fast. But my point is that now we've swung from that all the way to our Republican governor and lieutenant governor who are calling for to do something, Mr. Velleco, help us say, Texas, what should we do? Austin is a lot closer than Washington, D.C. So what can we do as Hill Country residents who live less than 2 hours from Austin? Tell us what we can do to save our rights in Texas.
It's one thing to have Beto or Velleco from the past. There's no credibility to say that he wants to take away your AR-15s or your AK-47s. It's another thing to have a Republican lieutenant governor say to campaign on taking on gun law in Texas. Like, what planet is he from? Not planet Texas. He wants it, and you put your finger right on it. It is the push to do something.
Right.
Just because there is a problem does not mean that the government is the solution. The government has done quite enough disarming our cities, which have become just murder. The murder capitals. If you took out the cities, people like to compare the United States to other countries. Well, if you took out the gang violence in the cities, where the politicians have disarmed all the law-abiding citizens, we would have one of the lowest murder rates in the world. It's the policies of the government that's helping to create the problem by creating these gun-free zones, by focusing on law-abiding citizens instead of letting law enforcement focus on the criminals. Those are the things that we need to tell our legislators, not only in D.C., but in Austin, that if you want to really do something to prevent mass murders, mass shootings, pass constitutional carry. The bad guys, the thugs, don't line up at the sheriff's office to get a permit. The other ones do that, or you wouldn't be. Let's tell the government they want to stop mass shootings, pass constitutional carry, pass concealed carry reciprocity, repeal gun-free zones. Instead, we have Republicans playing with the Democrat playbook, but just that we're smarter than the Democrats. We can do gun control in a better way that will actually work. Well, it doesn't work. It's a proven thing. If gun control worked, we should all just go to Chicago because it'll be the safest place in the country.
That's right. Thank you, and I was hoping you would say something about G.O.A. What can we do in Austin to hook up with G.O.A.? You have an awesome, we all know Rachel, everybody in this room loves Rachel, and now you've added Teresa Beckmeyer to your team out here. And so we're very happy with those two. So how do we engage with Gun Owners of America? Tell us about
Really easy. Go to gunowners.org, get on our free email list. Don't hit up for money. We just want you involved. And if you put in your Texas address, you're going to get all of our alerts from Rachel and Teresa. And Rachel knows what's going on in Austin. She will keep you involved. We're hoping to have another Gun Owner Lobby Day early next year. And yeah, G.O.A. is truly a grassroots lobby organization. We act as a conduit between Washington and you guys, between Austin and the voters. We give you the information and the means to contact your elected officials, because the late Republican Senator Dirksen said, when I feel the heat, I see the light. So the job of G.O.A. is to provide lots and lots of heat.
Okay?
Let me add just one point here, because I think it's really important, and John, you fill in the numbers. I think critical point when you're talking to your legislators, and you're sending any messages you might send to, Lieutenant Governor or anybody else, is the ineffectiveness of background checks in the first place. I alluded to it before a minute ago, with respect to the question about what occurred, what happened, how many have passed these mass shootings, what happened in Odessa, etc. So what do I mean by that? What I mean is how many false positives, right? And there's an enormous number of false positives. I mean, what's the number? Yeah, 90% false positives. And here's the critical part. When we look at what the Department of Justice and the United States Attorney's Office, I'm a former federal prosecutor, but assistant United States Attorney. My job is to prosecute those who misuse weapons that were enhanced felons, and those that were being used to transport narcotics and so forth. And one of the things that is not known is how much DOJ, the Department of Justice, has prosecuted so few of those people showing up. These false positive numbers. If you look at the numbers, why? Because the reality is, if the only prosecuting 17 people that they show the forms, is because they know most of these are false positives. That's right, isn't that the reality?
Yeah, the left tries to say, they do say that 3.5 million people have been stopped because of background checks. What they don't say is that after you take away, after the first level, where there's not even any discretion for the bureaucrats, just reviewing the actual record, 90% of those turn out to be false positives. And here's the reason, is that they do a name match or a phonetically similar name. So if you have a name that's phonetically similar to a criminal, there's a good chance you could initially be denied, and then that will be taken away after that first review. So over 90% turn out to be false positives for things like that. Now, of the remainder, a lot of the people who stop with background checks are people who are veterans with PTSD, who didn't even know that they were prohibited. You could be a red flag. You could have a conviction from 30 years ago, a youthful crime that you thought mistakenly would have been removed from your record, and you could try to buy a gun. So in other words, you're not stopping the people that you and I would like not to have a gun. I mean, Martha Stewart can't have a gun. Big deal. That doesn't make us any safer. We want to stop the really bad guys who want to do harm. And the fact is, the background check is stopping overwhelmingly, mistakenly identifying people. And then even of the people it does stop, they're not the ones that we're concerned about. That's why there's so few prosecutions. 3.5 million denials, something like 42 prosecutions and 13 convictions. Like, where are they? Well, they're not dangerous criminals.
Okay, hand the mic to Mr. Homan here, and I gotta tell you a story that happened in our neighborhood. As the crow flies, I live probably about a mile from Angela, and one of her neighbors is Dave, and Dave's here tonight. Well, on Sunday morning, Angela and Dave woke up with law enforcement officers all over their property. They were looking for a vehicle that had been running from the law, and they've been throwing drugs out the window. And so Angela and Dave woke up on Sunday with law in their yard. And a little while later, the sheriff got in touch with them and said, well, we got 2 of them, but they were traveling with 9 other people who got away. And so I was out of town, and as soon as we got back in town, actually we were at the range, and so we had our weapons with us. And so as soon as we got back, I walked around to our property and looked at our sheds. The sheriff then called Angela the next day and said, oh, by the way, we got one of those guys, and he was MS-13. This is our backyard, folks. You think these things are happening down close to the border? We are the border now. And so, Mr. Homan, would you speak to that? And maybe let's ask you also, tell us something about the Flores agreement. Is that something you can go into? You know anything about that? Talk to us about the border moving closer. It's just coming in.
Well, the Forest Settlement Agreement is one of the loopholes we've asked Congress to close for the last couple of years. I'll explain what the Forest Settlement Agreement is. There was a ruling 2 decades ago that we could not INS, this is before DHS was created, INS could not detain children. We were required to turn them over to HHS, because we're not equipped to do that. So under the Homeland Security Act of 2002, the Traffic Victims Act of 2008, ICE now turns children over to HHS. And that's unaccompanied children. These are children by themselves that were smuggled by a criminal cartel because their parents were sponsored by a cartel with the smuggle. And no one's thought about that. You know, they talked about, and I'm going off the riff here a little bit. They talked about 2,500 separations. They call family separations. Let me tell you something. The parents are being prosecuted. The kids couldn't go lock up with them. No one's thought. The parents are being prosecuted. Just like any U.S. citizen, each every night, you got a child with you, you get arrested, you don't get separated. But while they're raising hell all these 2,500 separations, no one talked about the 14,000 kids that were separated by their parents because their parents were up here. They hired a criminal organization to smuggle a child in the trunk of a car or in the back of a tractor trailer. And that's humane. What the government did, put the license daycare, is inhumane. But it's okay for the parents to smuggle the kids. That's why this issue is meaningful to me, because these children are being abused or being trafficked. 30%, they did DNA pilot down the southwest border just a few weeks ago, 30% DNA test showed they weren't parents. So who are these people and who are these kids? The kids are being trafficked. So that's why this is a huge issue. So that's the truth behind family separations. I'll tell you something else. 0 tolerance family separations, it works. Numbers on the border dropped 26% in 3 weeks. They want to stop with another month, we won't be dealing with the crisis right today. So, the Florida Settlement Agreement, let me just say this, under the Obama administration, I work for J. Johnson, we had families come up at record pace. J. Johnson looked at me and says, Tom, how do we fix that? So let me build a family detention center. We only got 100 beds. So we're releasing just about everybody, and as long as we keep releasing them and let them in the United States and never show up in court, they will keep coming, why would they? So let me build family detention. So the Obama administration approved me to build 3,000 family beds. 103,000. So it wasn't a big bad war for the Trump administration that built those. It was the Obama administration. The so-called cages, which aren't cages. Well, there are chain link fences that separates unrelated adults from unrelated kids. The same chain link fences find playgrounds. They want to call fences fine. Or they want to call cages fine. They want to call cages acceptable. They must accept the fact that those so-called cages were built by the Obama administration, not by the Trump administration. So in FY14, not let me build family detention, guess what happened? We held them all 40 days and didn't see an immigration judge. 92% lost your cases. We put them on airplane, we sent them home. The numbers on the border tanked because we showed consequences to terrorists. Then you had an idiot judge in the 9th Circuit, Judge G.O.A, who made the worst federal decision in the history of this country and said, you know what, you can only hold them 20 days. I wrote an affidavit because I was, again, the ICE director says, if you do this and don't allow us to hold them long as to see a judge, you're going to see numbers that you've never seen before. And of course, you said, I'll nothing but a fear monitor and no proof is. Well, look what happened. Triples, 400% increase, 1,200% increase, because we can't detain children. What we're asking Congress to do is change the law. Let's hold them long enough in a family medical, dental, child psychologists, pediatricians, educational programs, recreational programs, legal law libraries. I mean, in one of our facilities, they got Zumba classes for the mothers. I mean, these are facilities built for the population. So let's hold them long enough to see a judge. Because if they're really escaping fear and persecution and death in their own land, we should have no problem staying in our facility for 40 days and trying that case to a judge. So that's where I said, and Trump, the president, now saying we're going to go ahead and do this. So once we can hold the families long to see a judge, then we'll stop coming. Because 90% puts your case, then we'll stop coming.
This is the truth. Now we're hearing it more because God bless Tom being out there, being on Fox News, going to hearings. When we have hearings, oversight, we give one witness, we want Tom. And so Jim Jordan and I, Mark Meadows and others said we got to get Tom on there anytime these issues come up. Because the more airtime we get, the more we can set the record straight. But let me just add a couple more data points here, which is talking to you too, but I think it's important for y'all to hear. Some of you have heard these before, but some of you haven't. Since last October 1, 900,000 people, give or take, have been apprehended coming across the border. Apprehended. I'm not talking about the ones who got through who weren't apprehended, which are probably about that same number or more, give or take. Of those 900,000, roughly 600,000 have been caught and released into the United States of America. Okay? I asked these questions on the record to our current DHS Secretary and Oversight Committee. That 600,000, why are they being caught and released? For the very reason that Tom just said that question about it. Because of this settlement that was designed to protect kids by getting into HHS that was then expanded, that was then tightened to a 20-day rule. That wasn't the first thing. And then was expanded to family members by activist judgment. And once that happened, it became impossible to figure out how to hold these folks, particularly when you're doing what the Democrats are doing, which is shut down ICE facilities. So in other words, what happens? Family comes to the Rio Grande, they seek Border Patrol, they find them, they then go to Border Patrol. I'm not kidding, I'm down on the river in January, people are coming across the river, I'm talking to them in Spanish with another guy from the press, and they're just asking where to go. I'm like, there's Border Patrol. Great, they go to Border Patrol. They then go, they get on a bus, they can take you to a facility. They get a facility with a process within 48 hours. When I say process, it's clean, it's safe, they get water, they've got food, they've got diapers, they've got medicine, they've got phones where they can communicate with their family, and they would separate the single guys from families, and I'll talk about DNA in a minute. But all of that's happening, and then what? They get processed in 2 days, less than 2 days, and then get taken to a bus stop where NGOs take them out of the United States. Every single day, that's what's happening. Right now, as we speak, that's what's happening. Tom, would you agree? So you got, those are the numbers we're talking about. 600,000 people being caught and released in the United States since last October 1. The numbers are down in August, true, because of the heat and because of the return to Mexico policy the administration is doing work with Mexico. And the last point that I'll make, I was down at the facility in January. I went back again in August. I sent my chief of staff to the Clinton facility after AOC and her cohort lied, straight up flat lied about the drinking out of toilets. That was not true. There are water fountains that are connected to the same water supply as the toilet. But no one was drinking out of toilets. And where one was broken, they had orange, the same thing their kids drink out of football games. They're right outside the little cellar. It was a lie. 100% lie designed on purpose to make it seem that somehow the president was hating little kids. By the way, the kids didn't have anywhere to go. Why? Because for 5 months on the floor of the House of Representatives, Democrats looked at Republicans who were saying there was something broken, and they said it was a manufactured crisis. They said it was a fake crisis. They were lying then. Then once they figured out they wanted to flip it and said there was kids starting facilities, suddenly this is Trump's problem. I went to the facility in Aurora, Colorado, the day that the flag was turned upside down. Remember that in July? And the Mexican flag was raised. 1,200 beds in that facility. I went there the next morning after that happened, because I happened to be in Denver. And I went and I asked the ICE folks, let me see if they did. 1,200 beds, 3 square meters, iPads, video games, workout facilities, gyms, doctors, dentists. I mean, everything. It was clean ping pong tables. I saw saw this with my eyes. And guess what? I went to the room where they have all their personal events. 57 countries are represented in that facility. And I'm not talking about Guatemala, Honduras, El Salvador, Mexico. Yes, they were represented. I'm talking about Eritrea, Pakistan, India, Indonesia, Iraq. They're in those facilities because they came across our southern border. That's the truth. And no one in America knows it because the media are willing accomplices in trying to hide what's going on.
Excellent. Excellent. And this whole issue during the argument with Pastor Cortez, remember she thought she had a very nascent moment with a memo? She said, I got a memo with your name on it. Yeah, I signed it more. What's the problem? Because it works. It works. MS-13, that's discouraged this country. It's just not a border issue. MS-13 is now in 42 of our 50 states. 42 states. And they're the most horrendous criminal gang in the world. I used to work very hard. Pastor Cortez should be sent I said, thank you, Ed. We arrested about 600 of them in New York State alone. So, plus we took 5,000 criminals out of the streets of New York that they let out of their sanctuary jail. So I think she sent me a thank you letter rather than call me a Nazi, but whatever. Thursday, I'm doing a hearing in front of Jerry Neville. You guys raise your hands up here? So we're going to be talking about ICE detention and how they want to shut down ICE detention. Let me tell you something. I just wrote an op-ed in Fox News. I knew this hearing is coming. ICE has the highest detention standards in the world. Our deaths in custody are the lowest of any federal state facility in this nation. And I'm going to explain to you, we spend a lot of money on our facilities. Educational program, child psychologist, family center, child psychologist. We have teachers come teach in the school. We have counseling sessions. We have 3 squares a day. Every family comes to our facility. First they get 6 sets of new clothes. We check them for lice and chicken pox and measles and TB, which many of them have. Many of the first vaccines these children get are vaccines given by ICE doctors. Many times the first doctors people see are the doctors we provide them. So it's important not just to detain them, the family belongs to make sure we know who they are and where they're going, and to see a judge. It's a health and safety issue too. We've had facilities shut down for chicken pox, measles. We've had TB cases. We had one case last year, just before we started, we had a TB case that was no drugs that they were treated. We had worked with the Texas Department of Public Safety here, the CDC here, to come up with some kind of cocktail that we actually treated. If that person would not have been detained and released, God help us. This stuff happens. So Thursday we'll argue that. MS-13 is a terrible thing. These people, they don't shoot you, they'll cut you up. And President Trump has said day one he's going to take these people out. And when he called them in, he said they act like animals. Who's the first one to come to the defense? Nancy Pelosi. And the Democratic leadership. How dare we call them animals? And I told the president, I was on Air Force One going to New York for a press conference on the hundreds we arrested. The president was, Tom, you think those are all called animals? I said, well, yeah. What do animals ever do to you? I mean, animals kill for survival, MS-13 kill for sport. The difference. So no, that was too good to call them animals. We have a president taking this seriously. We have, and he's right, we have removed thousands of them. And that's the #1 priority of ICE HSI right now. The dismantlement of MS-13. We have agents in El Salvador, working with the federal police there. There's thousands of MS-13 members in prison in El Salvador that the United States put in their prison. So we're even working beyond our borders to make sure MS-13 makes it to our borders.
Well, I'll say one other thing on the ICE point. Here's the thing, the Aurora facility and other facilities like it, Tom can correct me, he's the expert. Here's the problem. Traditionally, 80% of the people in those facilities are people who are a result of interior enforcement, right? So you've got people who are bad actors who are engaged in bar fights or drinking and driving, or they're engaged in girlfriends or whatever. And they end up in jail or they're caught with, something worse or, sexual assault or something. And they're in this facility. These facilities are almost split. They're almost 80% full of people who are flooding across the border. So what does that mean? We've had a reduction in interior enforcement over the last year or so. And in other words, we don't have places to put people. So you can't have ICE going out there going and finding really bad actors and MS-13 and everybody else working with local law enforcement to root them out because we're so overrun by the numbers of people across the border, all while Democrats say there's no crisis.
Good point. What happened, I think, the border crisis. This president understands. I've said the same couple as he said. This is just not a humanitarian crisis, it's a national security crisis. It should not hit on one of this expanded a year. Border Patrol will tell you right now, 40 to 60% of border patrols are no longer working the line. They're changing diapers, they're making formula, they're making hospitals. So the border is less protected right now than it has been in a decade. So if you're someone in this world who wants to do harm to this country, you're not going to buy a plane ticket because there's numerous database checks are running. Anybody's trying to get a ticket to come to the United States on pre-flight plans. You're not going to get a visa because the visa security program run by ICE and CBP, they run you through numerous databases, including DOD databases, to see if there's any derogatory information on you or your family before you get a visa. So if you want to come to this country and go a building up, you're going to come the same way 12 or 20 million others came, especially now, where half the border patrol is on the border. And this is why this president is taking it seriously. And I wish he'd talk about it more. That's why he's building a wall, and that's why he's out there fighting every day to do what he can to secure the border. Because this is a national security crisis. And for the bullshit you hear in the news, no terrorists ever come across the border, got no evidence. When I was ICE director, we detained many known suspected terrorists. I detained them. So they didn't just magically appear. They came across our border. And it isn't how many we arrested. It's how many we didn't arrest. Because half the border patrol isn't on the line. This is a huge national security issue. And that's why our president is making this such a big fight.
There's two other points. When I was down at the border with Jim Jordan and Michael Cloud and Ben Klein and somebody else, we're down the border in early August. We got on a boat, we're down the river, and we stopped, and we woke the pad where they just detained a group that night, several hundred across that night. So they grouped 29, they caught about 4 in the morning. But here's the deal, they saw on camera. What happens? 19 of those 29 were family units, and they went and they turned and they saw Border Patrol, as I described before. But there were 10 who were all dressed in black and didn't. They took off into the bushes, into the cane, and then they navigated north. We didn't catch them. My point of that is, which one of those are the most dangerous? It's the 10. The ones we're talking about being detained are those 19. They're part of the 900,000 I'm telling you about. Those other people, the number we can't give you, which is, I'm told by Border Patrol at the border, upwards of 1 to 1. In other words, 900,000 we got behind probably 900,000 come through without apprehending. Those are the more dangerous. Those are the more problematic. Right? And that's part of the problem that we're dealing with.
There is progress being made. Are we making progress? I am hearing something like that there's 1 mile of wall going up a day or something like that.
Okay, another Democratic lie. There's no new wall going up. There is a new wall going up. But is some of the wall replacing dilapidated fencing? Yes, it is. So it's not new linear footage, but it is new wall. Let me explain why. Because border patrol agency, experts on the border, they're advising the administration where they need the wall. So dilapidated fencing, where they know MS-13 is coming across, they know the brush is coming across, they say we need a wall here. Not over there, brand new wall. We need it over here. This is where traffic's coming through. So it is every foot of it's new wall. And every foot of it makes this country safer. The numbers are down 56% from the high in May. But don't be fooled. We're still in a crisis because the numbers were astronomical at the beginning. And I'll say it again. If Mexico stops doing what they're doing, and they will, sooner or later, we're in trouble. And that's why you got to keep pushing your Congress to make these three fixes. You got to fix the poor settlement agreements, taking families long enough to see a judge. 2, the trafficking victims act. For children who come across that border illegally, if they're not a victim of trafficking, then we need to be able to remove children to Central America like we remove children to Mexico every day. We need to have the same rules. And finally, the asylum. 90% of people will pass the first asylum interview because it's a threshold to regularly law. And the cartels teach you what to say. You say a few key phrases, you're in. Half of them won't see a judge, 56% won't show up in court. The ones that do, 90% lose their case. So we're asking Congress to look at the silent rules and close that delta, make that person be a little more serious, so they're not released to the United States. Those three loopholes need to be fixed. So what can you do? You can vote, you can call your congressman, you can keep people like Chip Roy in office. Chip's help, we got to get rid of the people that want open wars. We got to make sure we got people that want to defend this. But I can't blame anybody in the world that wants to be part of the greatest country on earth, which we are. But you can't want to be part of the greatest country on earth and not respect our laws. You can't have both ways. You're not under this president. We're not allowed it.
On that point, I couldn't agree more about it. Historically, and I'll stand up and say, jump the rooftops, I do not blame the vast majority of people who are seeking to come here. I would do the same. I would think about trying to do the same if I lived in any of those countries in the Triangle in Mexico. They're being told they can come here, they can come across the river, they can come work. And for the most part, it turns out that they can't. And they want a better life, again. But our country is set apart from the rest of the world because we respect the rule of law. That is what sets us apart. It is why people come here. So we've got to stand up and defend the rule of law. What is happening? Well, the update I got last week was 64 miles of new borders wall systems. New wall systems have been constructed to replace the dilapidated and outdated designs. Some people say, well, that's not on new spaces. Well, when you used to just have, as Tom was talking about, a vehicle barrier that you could just walk across, this is now a 30-foot, steel structure. Well, that's an improvement. And by the way, the administration is doing that in the face of massive resistance from the Democrats who put in poison bills and said you can't build fencing in certain areas because of environmental restrictions and regulations. And they block ways to try to do that. The administration is driving ahead. 64 miles have been built. By the end of 2020, they expect to have completed 450 miles of new border wall system and have an additional 59 miles of construction. And I can go through the breakdown, which I won't do right now. But they're moving despite massive resistance from Congress in doing that. And the last point I'll make is the point that can't be overstated is the point that Tom just said about the things you can do to fix this almost immediately. And I asked him here, the DHS secretary, and pointed out and drew it back to the Obama years. Each one of those things that Tom just mentioned could be fixed on one piece of paper. Literally, it exists. We have the language. You can fix it with passing the law, one piece of paper, immediately fixed. And then we can get back to enforcing the law and having a secure border and get busy building infrastructure, clearing the canyon, building roads. Because as I've said to you before, you go down to Laredo, it's a 70-mile second. How many miles do you think are navigable along the Rio Grande that parallel roads to? So one of our border patrol guys can get in a car and drive by the river. 2 miles of a 70-mile stretch. When I talk to the border patrol, they're down at 11 o'clock at night. It's dark. They can't see the river because they can't drive along the river. They often don't have radio signals or cell signals at work, and they're usually lacking in manpower. One of the guys I talked to in a 70-mile stretch at one point had 3 guys on the line. Because why? They're on diaper patrol instead of border patrol. And that's the truth of what's happening on your border just a few miles from right here.
I can't remember. There's 2 reasons why Democrat leadership doesn't want to fix the border. One, they want this president to fail. Bottom line, so they hate this president more than they take their responsibility to secure our border. They hate this president more than they love this country. Bottom line, they want him to fail. Second issue, because when these people come, they get to the cities. The reason they don't want U.S. citizenship in portion of the census, it means more house seats for the Democrats in Congress. It means electoral colleges, electoral votes. It means power for them. This is why they want to fix it, because no common sense Congressman, I don't care, Republican or Senator, there's no downside to securing our border. So why would they resist it? Because they hate this president, want to see him fail, makes it a 2020 issue. And they want power, want more seats in Congress. Bottom line.
All right, folks, we are running close out of time. We need to have a raffle drawing, but I'm going to give these guys each one more opportunity with the microphone. And we'll start with John here in a minute. But I want to say that Chip Roy has ruined the politicians all across the country, people who want to run for office. And I want to tell you why. We have heard years. What have we heard? It'll be my first term and I can't do anything. We've been told, I go up there, I'm going to have to spend my first term just learning my way around, and we're going to have to, and we get told first term people, they just kind of get, shoved back in a corner. Chip Roy, first term, holy mackerel, man, I'm telling you. So the one thing I want to ask these guys, I want to ask Mr. Velleco and Mr. Homan, and I'll ask John first, is the point of our organization, the point of the Fredericksburg Tea Party, and what I talk about on the radio every day, is self-governance and engagement, citizen engagement. We have to be part of the solution. So we need to know what it is, what can we do as some, we're farmers, ranchers, retailers, all kinds of different, Angela does forest stuff, we got all kinds of different different businesses. What can we do? What can we do in this to help you guys in Washington? What can we do?
The gun owners of America spending is investing a lot of resources in Texas because we know there's a big push to make Texas blue. And if that were to happen, our gun rights, well, first of all, if that were to happen, we would never have a conservative Republican in national office in our lifetime because we would not have the same country. Thanks to Beto, it's probably not going to happen in the next election, but they're not giving up. So what we can do, it's been said already, is vote, vote, vote. I'm in Virginia, the Republicans have a one-seat majority in the Virginia Assembly, and it came down to one district that was tied, and on recount, it was still tied, and they pulled the name out of the hat. Thankfully, they pulled the Republican name out. That's why we have a Republican majority that's going to be in jeopardy here in a couple of months. So every single vote counts. Your vote, your friends' votes, your family's vote. We can't have dead people voting because we're not Democrats. But get out and vote, be involved. Texas, the other side gets it. They own California, they own New York, they own some other big states. If they get Texas, it's game over. We lose the border, the concept, or we lose the country. So vote.
Thank you very much, Mr. Velleco. It's a real pleasure to have you.
Well, again, vote and get your friends to vote. I'm being told a lot of Republicans in the state of Texas are not registered to vote, so we need to get to the polls, people. Because if this president loses this election, we're going to lose America. We got a president finally wants you to stand up during the national anthem. He wants you to fly American flag on your front porch.
Yes.
You got a president that supports the man winning the Border Patrol license like no other president I've ever seen. And look, I get emotional sometimes. People say, why do you get so angry when you testify in jail? I'm sick and tired of bullshit. The lies being told to the American people. I buried a lot of Border Patrol agents in my career. I buried a lot of presidents in my career. These are the finest 1% of our country. These rebel countries have every day to defend this nation. And they're being called Nazis, they're being vilified, they're trying to burn their buildings down, they shoot at the office in San Antonio. So, for a personal favor to me, you see a Border Patrol agent, you see an ICE agent, shake their hand.
That's right.
What do you want us to do for you? You're the man, you're our guy.
Well, thanks, Matt. First of all, you're doing by hosting this event, by having people come together. But it's not about doing anything for me. It is, as Tom said, it's about doing something for this republic. People asked me last year when I was running, it was not because I had any burning desire to be in Washington, D.C. I did not, and I do not. It is because of my daughter, who's 8, right over here. My son, who's 10, he's wisely throwing baseball, and I sat there right outside. He's got the right idea. But it's for them. And it's for your kids and your grandkids, and so that we can pass our public down to them, we can be proud, and that we can stand behind all of those who have bled and died and fought to protect this great country, that we can make all of that sacrifice for them. That's what our calling is right now. And we are under attack every bit as much as we were in 1836. Don't make any mistake about it. They are trying to target the state. The GCCC has 8 staffers full-time downtown Austin right now, dedicated to flipping 21, dedicated to taking junk car, dedicated to flipping Texas. And here's my 2 cents. The woman who's here from California, is she still here? Raise your hand, Joe. Well, just
Might be more than one.
there might be, but there's somebody just came up to me a second ago saying they moved here from California and that they were thrilled to be here in Texas. And why do I say that? This happens all the time. I run into people here who seek Texas for freedom. So I don't buy this nonsense that Texas is flipping blue. What I think we should be back on offense. That Texas is the beacon of hope of the world. That we stand up, that we lead, that we're going to register every last person who moved here, who's on Republican rolls in other states. Get them registered, get them out, turn them out, give money to whatever, I don't care, $1, or you can give me 50 cents, $100. $1, I don't care what it is. Give. Every donor matters. Every block walking effort matters. You have to take this as seriously as you've ever taken anything in your life to make sure that we hold Texas 21, that we hold Texas for the president, and that we demonstrate to the world that Texas is going to continue to be the leading beacon for freedom around the world. I'm going to say one last thing. We're standing here right now, and us with the we're standing here, sitting under this cross. That's why we do this. Yes! There is no point to being free if we're not spreading the gospel of Jesus Christ, if we're not leading and following Him and how to lead people to Him. And that is why we're here. And I think it's important for us to remember that as Christians, as Americans, as people who are trying to be good examples for the rest of the world. I'll say one last thing, stand on that cross. If you don't know John, say a prayer for his family. I don't want to put him on the spot. But I'm a cancer survivor, and his family's dealing with a tough lot right now. Pray for him and his family. Pray for your neighbors. Pray for people in your community. Make sure that you remember the veterans down the street who can help. Go to the VA to help. Go down the street and help a veteran. Go down the street and help people. Go to the food bank. Remember that this country was built on community.